Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second part here of 316 role-playing game. John, take it away.
All right. So thank you, Sithmaster, in the chat. You reminded me to put people in the right place on the battle mat here. And this is a fun one too, because we have like a multivariate thing going on here. As you can see, Sergeant Young is in cover technically against part of the threat here in the APC and the machine gun. So she's at close range in cover, but is also in close combat with the Rocky Tentacle, who she doesn't have cover from. So I stuck the threat token for that problem in the cover section of the map here, so we can kind of visualize what's going on. And also the lack of cover at near range is meant to show that there's just kind of an open area that the machine gun can shoot at near. So anyone who's at near is exposed to that fire. And where Eric is back at the base, there is available cover in the FOB. If he wanted to, he could like run down and get behind something over there. So that is our cover situation. And now let's go. So Erica and I are both fighting, and so we now need to discover what Sarge. What are you doing?
So if you recall, the last time that what was it? Pasternak was in trouble, and he had a very similar CGI nanite swarm pressing on him. I cracked open a battery and I fried them off and they ran away. So I'm going to attempt the same trick, right? So like as this terrible 80s CGI nanite swarm presses me against my cover, you see my hand like wildly slapping at my backpack and I punch something and it pops out. I'm going to take out the fusion battery of that and try and crack it open as this thing is attacking me.
Okay, cool. So everyone's rolling FA. Basically, you're or well, not necessarily, I guess. Are you? When you did this before, you were essentially driving it off, but not.
Well, I was burning it off of Pasternak with nuclear fire.
It fled into dust and scattered away. Is that what you're trying to do again? You're not trying to like fight it per se. You're trying to like get it off of you.
I mean, I assume it's going to get burned in the process, but this is not me taking aim at it. No, I'm trying to not get possessed and eaten by a monster that's on my visor.
Yeah. So it will be NFA for you then. You're doing a thing that's going to get the alien away from you, change its range, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right, let's roll.
I believe the order is you go first, right? And then we roll, or
everybody rolls.
Okay.
all together.
I live.
Damn.
I failed.
I failed.
I did not.
You did not fail. So, your only your thing works here, Strash. There's a thing that we always want to remember. It doesn't apply here, but you're going first. You can always cancel your own success, so that everyone behind you in the order fails. This obviously doesn't apply here. The aliens aren't doing anything. And Eric's rocket shot, sadly, the last rocket shot, does not go well. But your thing works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this threat token and put it back in my pile.
Okay.
It's not a kill, obviously, but you've removed it from combat. So yeah, it's basically the same thing as before. The rocket shot, since you have no tracking stuff, Eric, like all that's turned off.
Yeah.
Any kind of smart systems or
just dead reckoning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it passes overhead and thumps into the ground behind the APC and blows up. It's very spectacular. It doesn't kill anything. And the discharge from the fusion battery lights up the area, so you see the Sarge, like where the Sarge is, taking cover behind the machine gun there. And it does what it did before, Sergeant Young, but it's a little different. Like you can see when you turn, you can see that the mound is right there. The tentacle is connected to it, is like coming out of the rocky pile. And when you burn off the tip of the rocks there with the battery, that it starts to fall apart and rocks start hitting the ground and its cohesion's breaking up. And it withdraws, but before it like was sort of disintegrated into powder. Now only the front part of it starts to disintegrate. It immediately withdraws and goes back into the rock
learning.
mount, into its layer. Yeah, exactly. It's learning. The learning computer. And at the same time, as it withdraws back in, there's this thrumming shockwave under your feet. Like it's almost like the rock thing rings like a bell, but underground. It kind of goes wong. Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah. And the machine gun keeps firing. And you hear this like incoherent moan from inside the APC. And we go into the next round.
Awesome.
I'm shooting. I'm attacking. What I'm gonna do this time though is, Eric, you see this through the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
From the back of the APC, silhouettes of troopers come shuffling out and start to fan out, and they're sort of like dumbly swarming around the area. They know there's stuff there to attack, but it's just kind of this like swarm of stumbling trooper armor. Their helmets are all blacked out. You can't see any faces. So that's started. The APC is disgorging some zombie guys.
All right.
Oh, no.
So
Okay.
I have some questions here really quick.
Mhm.
Just about orders of operations. In order for Goodman to make a difference in this fight, he needs to get to near range or closer, right? Is there any chance that I could move him by providing suppressing or covering fire so that he could get into position to open up with his cannon?
If you have some means
Grenade?
of, yeah, like it depends on what you can do. I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah. That is a thing you could try. What do you want to do?
Just get him into killing range. That's my. So I think yes, but how?
Yeah. What's your fictional?
I mean, I do have grenades, and I also have a heavy machine gun which can fire at close range. I also have a sidearm that can fire at close range. So I think we're just going to start with grenades, right? Because among other things, these things seem to move with sound, and I figured that the thunder of grenades is going to be a lot more effective at both gathering attention and sort of like presenting a threat face than the pitter patter of tiny combat boots.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're going to use grenades to change as an NFA roll, but to change his range instead of yours. You're going to stay where you are.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
I'm in cover, so hey.
Yeah, and Goodman, what are you doing? You're shooting, I assume.
Well, yeah, I'm out of rockets, right? There's only 2 of them, right? So I probably like curse as like fucking garbage, like like trash as I pick up Gilgamesh and get into optimal range, which is near. Can I do both of those things?
Well, normally no, but the Sarge is like giving you a move, right? With her NFA test, and if the Sarge succeeds and goes before you, then you'll be at near when you fight. Otherwise, you'll be at far.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I succeed with 5.
I succeed with 6.
Oh.
I succeeded 3.
Wow. Perfect. But you have a choice now, Strauss. So Goodman's you go first, young. Goodman moves because that's your success. Then I go. So I'm gonna inflict kills on both of you.
Can I use cover armor?
Yeah. So with you, when I inflict the kill on you, it'll pop you out and put you into close with no cover.
Now I have a different question for you.
Yes.
The fictional cover is that I am using the APC, which I hear people inside, as a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that the APC is going to get wrecked, including the people inside, or does this mean?
No, it means that you have to maneuver. So like you're going to come into contact with the swarm of zombie guys, and you'll lose your cover against them. And
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
So can we fictionally say that once I like start throwing the grenades, I am actually like whipping out and like trying to, among other things, not just give Goodman the charge, but also keep the APC and the people inside it somewhat safe from and those guys distracted.
Yeah, they haven't like climbed in to the APC yet, and the fact that you're out of cover now, I think it means you've like drawn them towards you.
Yep.
They're not climbing into the APC and attacking the wounded. They're coming after you instead.
Perfect.
And Goodman, you're like hoofing it with Gilgamesh out there. You get to near. There's like no cover really out here unless you want to just jump in a hole that goes somewhere.
No.
And so you're lighting it up with Gilgamesh, and they're returning fire with the machine gun, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so you do a kill. You eliminate this threat token here, and I do a kill to you. So you are going to go from a mess to crippled, Goodman, or you can use your armor.
I'm gonna use my armor. I have to. Yeah, of course. And it's like, yeah, it's probably like just my chest plate and stuff gets lit up. I probably get knocked down by a machine gun, right, as it just punches me in the chest with like a sledgehammer force, right?
Yeah. It's doing that sweep again, like it's trying to find you.
Yeah.
By hitting you with bullets. So I think you're able to throw yourself down, and it rakes off your armor and blasts the plating off your shoulder and back.
Yeah.
And then Gilgamesh roars. Roll your kills there at your near range kills. What's near range kills for E-cannon?
I was looking it up. I'm pretty sure it's the 2d10, but let me
2d10 until it's modified, then 3d10, then 1d100.
No, best modified. Yeah, best is D100, which is insane. Okay.
2d10. Nice. 11. Holy crap. I'm tracking your kills here. Yeah, so I think you tell me, like you can describe your success there.
Can I neutralize the APC with that? Is that
yeah, you removed
in the realm of possibilities?
You remove the threat token. Yep. If you want to focus fire on that, you can do that. Yep.
Yeah, right. So I like crawl on my belly after throwing myself to the ground, and I just charge up Gilgamesh, and it just looks like So have you played the new, or have you seen anyone play the new Wolfenstein with like the microwave laser beam? It's just like that. It just slices, like after I hold it down enough, and you just see it just go, and it doesn't even look like I'm doing much damage to the APC. Like I'm holding it down there sustained as like the bullets whiz by me, and then I like just lift it up, and it just like cuts the APC in half.
Yeah, the front where the turret is, like
yeah, it goes,
glowing edges where it's been cut, like
yeah, exactly. Or maybe not the whole thing, just like the turret part is disabled. Yeah,
the turret part, and the like part of the torso of the zombie marine there is like white or glowing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's vaporized hot metal.
Nice. Yeah, and off to your right, Sarge is maneuvered around, and these shambling troopers are swarming. It looks like they're trying to dogpile the sergeant. They're not using their weapons. Some of them have weapons slung. Some of them are holding weapons in their hands, but they're not firing. They're just like trying to swarm down. Okay, next round. I'm attacking, of course, as usual.
I am going to bark an order at Goodman to get these rocks off of me, and I'm going to NFA to dive back into cover. But my narrative is that I am going to go and get the other Marines out of the APC and try and get them to safety. The two unconscious guys that are rattling around inside.
Yes. So with this action, you will get into the APC.
Yes.
And then we'll go from there. Yeah.
Sound good?
Okay.
And
yeah, I'm gonna keep blasting fire down on the aliens just attacking, making sure that Young has plenty enough plenty of time or to do whatever they're doing, or at least make it. You have to make it back into the APC, right? Like you came out to chuck those grenades and
I ran out. I chucked the grenades. I waved my hands. I chucked some more grenades, and then I'm like out of grenades, so I'm like booking it back to the APC.
Right.
As I'm being surrounded.
Yeah. Did you roll?
Yeah,
did you do kills for your turn for your grenades?
No, that was an NFA just to get you in position.
Oh, got it. Cool. Okay. Yep. Awesome. Yep.
Search doesn't get kills. This is the name of the game.
Ah, right.
1 moment. Let me look this up real quick. I want to make sure I'm using this correctly. Oh.
Oh my.
Oh.
Is that that sounds like a bad O for us. For us, uh-oh.
Well, we're in near range, and these things are nasty, if I recall, at near range, so we'll see.
Yeah, you made it. You're moving back to cover, though. So, we'll see.
They may get a free attack or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it cost me a threat token, but I'm gonna use the threat token that left. It makes sense why I'm doing that. It's a little fuzzy rules wise, but I think it's okay. Like fictionally it'll make sense. But I have to spend it. It goes away for me to activate this. So but we'll see what happens. So okay, so you're shooting, Eric. You're moving into cover, Strash, and I'm getting you. All right, let's roll.
You're gonna get me. You're gonna get me.
Ooh, I succeed with a 7. Oh boy.
I got a 4.
Here we go.
Oh no.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right.
So aliens go first.
Yeah, so you fail. Young, I go first.
Then me. Then
So I mean, fictionally, it makes perfect sense, right? You were describing them surrounding me. I'm like dragging at the APC, which may or may not have like broken / welded like bolts. I'm trying to get it open. They swarm me. They're going to get ahead of me. What did they do? How bad is it?
I'm trying to decide if I really want to spend it. I think I do.
Okay.
Because Eric succeeded, and this is my last surviving token. So,
uh-oh.
So several things happen. You do get swarmed. You try to move, back towards the APC, and in the gathering darkness here, like it's hard to see. They're in your way. You make one step, and there's 3 more cutting you off.
Of course.
Then you feel like one of them grabs the sling for your gun and like starts to pull you off your feet. And another one steps forward and tries to sort of pin you, and you're getting into this like hand-to-hand combat basically with them. And they don't pull you off your feet yet, but they swarm in really close to you and grab a hold of you, and they're trying to tear your helmet off, and like get their hands onto your skin, and like get you. So they're doing kills to both of you.
They're so gonna get you.
And yeah, Eric, I think they're returning fire, like the ones on the outside of the swarm that aren't directly attacking Young.
Yeah.
They turn around and start blindly shooting their energy rifles, and it's just like volume of fire, right? They haven't really zoned in on you yet, but they're just like
there's just a cone of tracer rounds
coming in, hitting you.
I'm crippled. Yeah.
You are crippled. Are you gonna use your Young? Or are you gonna take damage?
Is this it? Just both of us take kills?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a mess.
Okay.
I'm gonna save my armor because I think my friend's gonna land a shot here, and then we'll patch each other up.
So Eric, the camera sees this. You're not super aware of it. You've just used Gilgamesh to like saw the turret off this thing with its beam. And you come under fire. The cooldown cycle on the E-cannon is like, it's like getting ready to fire again. And the camera comes in close for a macro shot. And there's this dust and debris and rock all over the valley floor and everything. But we see this like CSI kind of shot where the cooling vent of the E-cannon like sucks up some of this dust. And we like follow it through the vents of the weapon into this cooling system, and you're bringing it up to fire again, and the whole thing just goes and like turns off. Click, click, click. Nothing happens. And then like about like a half a beat later, your visor camera, like clicks off. It's just dark. Same thing for you, Sarge. Your helmet cam, like boop, this turns off. You can raise your armor visor and like look through the plastic, but for now it just like goes dead. There was still some like lights and stuff on the APC, like, and you could see some lights inside from the dashboard and stuff like that. That all just goes dead. Everything is completely shut off.
Oh no.
Yeah. So your FA doesn't happen, Eric. You don't have a thing to shoot with.
Well, can I grenade? Can I freely switch to a grenade and do it?
We need to check the order of actions here because that really matters.
Yeah.
You might be able to. Let's double check the rules.
Yeah, you definitely get to go first. And if you disable my weapons, and then maybe I'm not able to switch. I know I'm able to freely switch to a grenade, but if my grenades are also disabled,
you can freely switch as long as you don't fail your roll. So you did not fail your roll. I used my alien ability to turn off technology, but grenades will still work. So yes, you can freely switch to grenades and attack.
Yeah. Well, shit. Well, yeah. It's like, damn it, and I chuck that down and grab a grenade from my bandolier. I'm like, well, here goes nothing, and I pull a pin and throw it down, and it goes beep 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 beep, and hopefully gets the grenades off of you without hurting you, Young.
I have Bandleblight armor for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check the grenades here too.
I think it does a 1 from a near range. Yeah.
Grenades cause a kill to any PC at close range who failed their roll this round.
Guess what? I failed my roll this round.
Yep. So, all right. Yep.
This is what Mandlebright armor is for.
Yep. Shit happens. Well, you get the description that you take out the last threat token here, Eric. Tell us.
Are you kidding me, Gunman?
It's like you're going down under the swarm, right? We see Young like being dragged below the swarm.
Yeah, and and I think you see it land right near you, and it just boom, and with a bright flash of light, as the thermal detonator triggers, and it just you're kind of left with an intense sense of heat and force. You're blown backwards, and I guess it vaporized the rocks, right?
Yeah. It destroys the swarm around Young. Roll your kills. Let's see how many you.
Oh, I don't roll. It's just 1.
Oh, it's 1 at near.
Grade at 1 is near.
Yeah. Cool. Let me add that to your list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one unit's worth of alien matter gets vaporized, and the bodies, unlike the other armor suits in the base, there are still bodies inside these suits. When the thing goes off and just flashes fire and explosion through the enemy. Before, it was kind of like the armor was empty without the rock stuff, and it fell apart. This time it's just like certain parts, like an arm sort of disappears and the armor just falls to the ground, but there's still a human body inside, or the head, or like it's taken over some of the corpses, but not the whole thing yet. They're sort of fresher. Right?
This was recent.
So gooey.
Yeah. And you're taking that on your armor. So your you feel the explosion from the grenade under the pile of bodies, and you feel your armor like crack and give. And then it's all quiet. There's the ticking of cooling metal, and from inside the APC you hear, "Help! Help! Somebody!"
You hear
I got you,
Goodman
soldier.
running down the hill saying like, Sarge, you know, as we come back inside the APC. So what are you doing?
Goodman, I'm fine, and you're an asshole. And then I say, I got you, soldier, and I'm gonna try and crank the APC open and get those guys out.
It's not my fault, Sarge. Look,
Just keep saying
they jammed Gilgamesh. There's nothing I could do.
Except throw grenades right on top of my position. What do we talk about with grenades, Goodman? They're not Easter eggs. They're not candy.
My memory's fuzzy on that one, Sarge.
You know what's good for your memory? Less drugs.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're fine. We're fine. We'll scrounge up what we can and get moving backwards.
Also, Goodman, I just checked the rules here. After a moment, you hear Gilgamesh like sputter and maybe like tap it on your helmet or something, and it like comes back to life. It's not permanently destroyed.
Good. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I double checked the rule. I was like, oh man, is this permanent? No, it's not.
Okay.
That would be rough.
That would be really rough.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you get it open. Inside, you see 4 troopers. Two are kind of up and moving around, and 2 are laid out on the. It's not on its side completely, but it's sort of canted over, and they're at the bottom. One has Lieutenant Barr on his armor. There's McCready, who you know, young. You talked to on the radio, the corporal.
Hey, Mac.
Nice, yeah, Mac, like that. And then 2 troopers, and one of the troopers is like apparently thrown from the crash and the damage. The other one is strapped. There's a like a field stretcher that they're on, and they've been strapped to it with the like restraints for airlifting and stuff, and then they've been duct taped extensively to the thing, like in a crazy way, just like completely wrapped, basically like a mummy almost. And they're moving slightly on the stretcher. There's in the full armor with the helmet on and everything, but are like it's sort of wobbling and moving. The other trooper is completely, apparently dead. Maybe McCready is in real bad shape. When you come through, you see he's dragged himself out of the driver's console, and his armor's blown apart. He's got some serious, very bad wound on his chest and lower body. There's blood everywhere. He's super pale. You can tell he's lost a lot of blood. He's got his helmet off. He's fumbling with this med pack. And then Lieutenant Zhang is the officer for this is the fourth platoon. They're called the Hammerheads. That's their nickname. He's the commander of that platoon, and he's kind of out of it. You know, he's his ears are wrung from the explosion, and doesn't have any wounds on him, but is just like fumbling around in the supplies of the APC, sort of fruitlessly looking for whatever. And McCready's like trying, you know, got some gauze in his mouth, and he's trying to do something.
I'm a help patch McCready up. That's my first order of operations, and I'm gonna tell Goodman to get the rest of them out. And
absolutely.
Being on the stretcher is not able to talk or make human noises, don't bring it. And I say don't bring it in that way. That means make sure it never leaves this thing alive.
What if someone's unconscious, Sarge?
That's fine. We'll drag them. We'll test them later.
All right.
But so I saw it like wiggling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say that, you go over to McCready and you're giving orders to Goodman, and McCready can't really talk. He's just like, we have to, no. Oh, and you can tell he's trying to communicate something to you, but he's in real bad shape. He needs painkillers. He needs first aid. You do have those things. No, like normally after a combat, and for you guys, we'll do this. You'll clear one of your injuries. He's in such bad shape that this is an NFA test to like stabilize him so he doesn't die. But you have the equipment to try to do that. You can't actually heal him right here in the APC, but you can try to keep him from dying.
Yeah. I mean, bear in mind here.
Hey, with a 6 too. Nice.
Yeah,
nicely.
Really nice. I'm not in great shape either.
You are not in great shape.
I also like limping. I was like limping down that hill. I'm like,
yeah. So you're
punched.
doing. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Let me just jump in real quick. Usually, Goodman, I'm like on top of patching everyone up like ASAP, and you've seen this before, like even on this mission. But this time, I'm letting you limp a little while longer. So my excuse is, of course, I'm tending to the guy that's dying, but also I'm a little sore about the fact that you dropped your grenade at my feet. Go
on. So while you're tending to McCready, I think you kind of like jab him with morpha injection or something to start, so he sort of like goes limp, so you can work on him. He's got like shrapnel wounds and internal bleeding. It's like doctor level stuff to deal with, so the basics of patching him up, but he needs surgery. So you get started on that. Eric, as Goodman, like you go check on the maybe dead guy, not the guy on the stretcher.
Yeah.
And they are in fact dead. Then Zhang, who's fumbling around, gets a compartment open, pulls out the like field radio that the APC has stored, but his it's different. It's like a satellite phone kind of SEAL team version. It's got a little like satellite dish thing on it.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
As a normal trooper, you would be like, whoa, like that's some kind of high tech business. We don't usually get issued stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally finds it. It seemed like he was searching for medical supplies, but he totally wasn't. And he starts to push past you and get outside to set the thing up. It needs like line of sight or whatever, maybe to orbit. And as he does that, he sees you and he realizes you're not from his platoon. And he draws up short, and then he kind of like starts to come back to reality, and he's looking around and he goes, who are you? What's going on here?
I'm Sergeant Young. I forget our platoon number.
Oh yeah. You guys are second platoon, the Butchers, I think is what you called yourselves.
Cool. So I'm going to say Sergeant Young, second platoon, the Butchers. We bailed your ass out of some fire there.
He steps over to Goodman while you're talking and like pulls you up close and
lifts my visor. Yeah,
he lifts your visor and like gives you a hard look and comes over and looks at you while you're working on McCready. He's like, "Where's Lieutenant Miller?" He's that's your boss.
Did he give us the briefing?
He's on the ship, as far as you know. He should be here, but he didn't come with you. So,
as I'm patching, I say, LT sent just 3 of us down. I left one of the people with our dropship.
Yeah,
those were our orders.
In his office.
He has this like 1,000-yard stare going to some degree. You know him, like you've seen him on the ship. You know his platoon and stuff. He's not a stranger.
Okay.
You haven't worked under him or anything, but he's part of your company, and you basically know him. He's a by the book kind of guy, but he's out of it. He's acting like he's been under some extreme stress for a long time, and he's white knuckling through whatever he's dealing with, and this new information is kind of more than he wants to process. So
how about can I give him a helpful suggestion?
Yeah, you can do whatever. He's obviously about to make some kind of unilateral decision. You see him like stand up straight, and he's about to do the lieutenant thing and start like telling you to do stuff. So you can step in if you want.
Hey LT, I see the sat phone. You thinking of getting us out of this mess? I say, attempting to be as helpful as possible while not taking a counter.
Give me an NFA roll, Sarge. Maybe you can make a human connection here. Nope.
He thinks I'm challenging his authority.
Yeah, he sure does. He's like, he realizes that you've like seen the top secret device, you know, and he's like, this is none of your concern. What are your current orders, Sergeant?
Set the base back up and apparently rescue some lost lambs.
The base.
Yeah. LZ Valley 4.
61% to do. LT. I have a somehow at this time I have a cancer stick, smoking or whatever they call it.
Nice. Yeah.
They are called cancer sticks.
Yeah. He says, "No, I'm. Is this all that's left of your squad?"
This is most of what I was given, LT.
All right, you're under my command now. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go outside. I need to establish secure comms with command. We will report our current situation, and without further orders, we'll continue with our original mission. I'll brief you at that time. And then he notices McCready, like the situation that McCready is really in. He's like, able-bodied troopers will continue with the mission. Everyone else will remain here. And he brushes past Goodman and goes outside and starts setting up the satellite phone.
I see him walk out, and I just stare after him like he's an asshole for a split second, and I just go, "Well, you heard him, hammerhead."
Okay. Yeah, like the whole time when you say that, like, I look to you, Sarge, because like I do what you tell me to do, right?
LT's setting up the thing. McCready's in trouble. Do we have a situation on the guy on the stretcher?
You've barely glanced at him.
Okay.
No vitals.
I assume while the radio's being set up, me and Goodman are going to get medically treated, and Mac, who I have succeeded my role on, will hopefully get out whatever message she had. What's Mac's?
Mac is a woman.
Okay, cool.
Yes, let me update you guys are able to first aid yourselves after combat, so that'll clear your damage.
That's the stuff.
And what's the LT's last name?
Zhang.
Got him. All right.
So how's McCready doing?
Yeah, so
McCready.
You bring her back a little bit, and she's all pale and needs blood transfusion and just a bunch of other stuff. But the Morpha's like she's comfortable now. She fumbles at you and like drags you forward on your chest plate. And she's like, they want us. We got to make sure that nothing happens to that. She like points at the mummified wrapping thing. She's like, don't destroy it. It was real hard to get. A lot of people died for that thing. I know you want to. It's one of those things. Don't do it, please.
I mean, this is probably the first time I probably noticed this thing, right? So what does it look like?
It looks like a trooper like duct taped to a stretcher. Yeah, like completely wrapped. from head to toe, attached to the thing, and it's moving slightly.
Okay, Mac. Whatever you say.
I just don't want this whole shit show to be for nothing. You know what I mean?
You have my word.
I smirk.
I'll get us out of here. You just stay frosty.
Thanks, Serge.
Can I steal a little bit of time from Sarge real quick? Like a moment of privacy to be like, what do you think about that? Like a time for you to, I don't know what you're thinking, right? It's like, so we're probably both like leaving the same thing, right? You're probably lighting up a cigarette too. It's like, what do you think? Should we, that very close, like we're just kind of talking to each other.
I lean in and I say, like, listen, Goodman, this whole planet's been a shit show from the moment they only strapped 3 of us into that drop ship. I shake my head. I'm like, this is all way too much above our pay grade. Right now, we've got one mission. You and me have to get off this world alive. That is my job. Do you understand? If you can, get Mac out. If you can, get that thing out. But our priority is you and me.
Well, you have to choose between Mac and a mummy. I'm choosing Mac.
Fist bump.
So, we fist bump, and yeah, what's next, John?
Yeah, so you guys finish up your first aid there. The lieutenant he like connects his helmet to the radio thing and is doing whatever he's doing. A little time passes, like several minutes.
Do I have time to scrap together armor, like a new shoulder?
There was a guy who was in fine armor but dead on the inside of the APC, and there's a bunch of people outside we could probably scavenge.
Yeah, it was something in my size.
You could, yeah. You want to
You want me to do my rig roll?
So yeah, so you're gonna actually no, I don't think you need to roll to scrounge here, Strauss. You can just take their armor and change.
Perfect.
Like strip yours off and put theirs on.
Perfect.
But I need you to test NFA for me, Eric, when you do that.
Sure.
Eric?
Yeah.
Success.
Nice. So you're changing your armor. You take the breastplate off, and your like under suit thing is ripped away and blasted. And you see like you're slightly burned, and there's some contusions and scratches and stuff from where you were injured. Fairly bloody, actually. You are a mess still, so it's kind of messed up. Put a first aid patch on it and stuff. But then you notice that there's some of that like black, powdery rock dust on your skin and on your wound. And when you take your helmet off, Sarge, you see on his face like there's like streaks of black coming out the nose, like this like dusty fluid, or not dusty fluid. You know what I mean? It's wet, but it's like got flecks of the in it, and one of your ears too. But you feel fine. You look fine. But this is like the first cue here. And if you look at yourself, Sarge, you can see too that like your suits aren't really keeping the stuff out exactly. They are doing what they can, but you've been exposed to the material. But it hasn't affected you.
Good thing we took our meds.
Yeah. So you make that discovery and manage to get a new suit of armor on Eric. It's the forever regenerating armor minigame.
At least on this planet.
Yeah, that's right. So when you finish that, two things happen. One, the lieutenant finishes and comes back and is like, all right, mission's the same. we need to get this. We need to get the sample back to the Euphrates. You have a dropship that's still on station here, correct?
We do.
All right, we're going to need that. We need to get them back here immediately. I wasn't able to establish comms. What's their current situation?
I'm gonna like, hey Chief, what's your current situation?
Nothing.
I'm probably gonna have to hit high ground, or we're gonna have to turn comms on in the big place. She went down to Valley. Like, where was the other?
The one from the Volga.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like I guess depending on how you sliced it, but
Valley
if this is like if this was Valley 4, it's like it's out of the bounds of the map, but it would be like another 4 valleys away. So it'd be like Valley 8, I guess, if you wanted to call it that.
So I tell him she's in the southern tip of Valley 8. We saw a downed ship over there. She and one of my men are checking it out right now.
So this is a search and rescue mission? I thought you were supposed to be setting up the FOB.
I kind of tilt my head and I say, do you want that dropship or not?
And he tilts his head back and is like, what I want, Sergeant, is for you to shut your trap and follow my orders. Do you think you can manage that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Then get that drop ship here. I don't care how I have to do it. Make it happen.
So let me just be clear. I am assuming that if we can get the radio tower in the big place hooked up, we should probably be able to communicate with them if they're still alive, correct?
Not necessarily. They're likely out of range of your helmet radios.
I meant in the base. There's a comms array in the base.
Yeah. If the base comms array was on, you could definitely talk to him. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And the satellite array that he has, if I just gave him Lucille's codes, would he be able to patch through to her? Or
I mean, technically, like, you don't really know, but make an NFA test. Maybe you do know.
Maybe I do know. Can make some assumptions. Nope, I have no clue.
It seems like it should be able to do that. Do you want to ask the lieutenant to do that?
Well, I rolled poorly, and I want to respect the dice. So I say, Lieutenant, if I gave you her comms codes, do you think you could patch them through in that thing? I say, obviously not knowing what that thing...
Yeah. Yeah, he says, if I could call the dropship with this, I would have done it, wouldn't I?
Fair enough, sir.
You have your orders. Get the ship here as fast as possible.
Sir, yes, sir. Goodman, you're with me.
Oh, and then like he waits for you to like walk away so he can call you back. You know, he's like, and one more thing.
Yes, sir.
He's like, this. He holds up the funny comms thing. Doesn't exist, and you don't know anything about it.
Know anything about what, sir?
All right, carry on. So it's obvious to you, as a bit of a veteran here, as the sergeant, Josh, like he's coming out of the shell shock state and is getting into, okay, I can manage stuff now. I can order people around. That's something I can hold on to. But he's still like really freaked out and a raw nerve, you know?
I say, LT, do you want to pull Mac and your thing and come with us? It might be safer inside the walls of the base. That way I can get the dropship for all of us at the same time, and we can hold position while you guys load.
I'm gonna make you test NFA against Rush.
Yeah,
he's not entirely in his right mind.
I'm good,
but he can be convinced. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it cuts through a little bit, and he realizes, okay, I've got priorities. That defensive position, that kind of thinking, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he doesn't say anything out loud. He just like he nods, like, okay, Goodman.
Yes, sir.
Get another stretcher out of the APC. Get McCready on it. We'll. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
We're gonna go back to the base. We're gonna establish comms from there. We'll set up a perimeter from the base. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. And
all right.
I go out to stretcher and I just go 61%. And go grab the stretcher and get ready to go do some stuff. I am a loyal dog, and yeah, cool.
So you guys are doing that. We'll take our break here in a second. The last thing that happens is you're getting everything sorted inside the APC. You get McCready on. Sarge, you're like helping to keep the sutures or whatever like not broken while McCready's moved, and the lieutenant's going to take one end, and I guess maybe the lieutenant's not thinking very clearly right now. He wants you and Goodman, you and the lieutenant are going to bear the stretcher, and Sarge are going to like walk point or whatever.
Sure, that sounds great.
That's what he wants. So while you're doing that inside and get up that all squared away, oh wait, no, someone's got to also carry the sample.
I figured that stretchers can be dragged a little bit like a travois.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Where you hold two ends and then two ends are on the ground and you go.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
That each of us can take one of the stretchers and pull it if LT wants to lock point. If he doesn't, he's gonna have to pull something.
I'm pulling Mac. I go to pull Mac.
The lieutenant doesn't want you to touch the sample, so he's gonna drag it.
No problem.
You guys
yeah, that's fine with me. I wasn't going. Yeah, he was gonna have to order me to do that, so that's good.
No, he's gonna do that himself. During that operation inside of getting all that sorted out, you hear that sort of bell sound again, that subterranean like blom, and then a louder crunching rock slide kind of sound. And when you look over your shoulder, crane your neck a little bit through the hole of the front of the APC that was blasted, you can see just the top third or so of one of the rock piles, and it neatly like starts to kind of collapse, and then
implode.
Yeah, it's like folding down like that.
Yeah.
And then it's starlight outside now, but a large shape passes between the APC and the rock pile, like a tree trunk moving just for a second, this black silhouette, and you hear this like boom, boom, stepping noises and the loud rock shaking. And then the stepping noises start to kind of recede away. Everyone's inside. The lieutenant freezes. You're holding the stretcher there with McCready. Everyone's like just listening, and you hear this like rock crumble, 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 and then step, boom, 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 outside. And we'll take our break there.
All right.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We're back in 6 minutes, everybody, for the third and final hour here of 316. So see you on the other side.